Where's it going to go? Let's get a voice of experience to talk to us about it. Former Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone's with us. Hi there, Ken. Thanks for making the time to be live on RT International. Does it strike you as ironic, maybe a bit odd, that a collection of the wealthiest, predominantly capitalist nations are meeting in a city that's known for being pretty left-wing? There was always going to be a bit of trouble, no?
Hi there.
Hi there, Ken. I think you may have had a bit of a problem hearing us. You said earlier on when I spoke to you that the sound wasn't great. There's a bit of a delay as well. I'm going to ask you that again. Hopefully you can hear me now, yeah?
Well, I think that the situation is all over the world. We've seen this huge shift of the population into the great cities. It's almost as though we're reaching a world in which it's not... Yeah.
Yeah, Ken, there's a huge sound delay, I can see of about 20 seconds here. This is going to be a bit painful, but I'll start again. I'm going to say, do you think it's a bit ironic that the collection of the wealthiest, predominantly capitalist nations are meeting in a city, Hamburg, known for being pretty left-wing? I think we'll have to draw this to a close, guys, and come back to it later. This is a bit painful to watch. Ken, we're going to come back to you later. I hope you can hear me. I think there's a big problem on the line.
The simple fact is that anyone running a city government and doing it well has to be spending a lot, investing a lot. You can depict that as particularly left-wing. I think it just is that those...
OK, Ken, we're going to leave it there because we've obviously got a sound problem. We're going to record you behind the scenes when we've got this worked out properly. Sorry, Ken. Ken Livingstone there, former Mayor of London, obviously some gremlins in the pipeline. Now, in the build-up to the G20 delegation's arrival, it's their accommodation, no less, that's attracting headlines in Germany. Some claim the Saudi royal family booked out a whole luxury hotel for the team, but King Salman later cancelled his visit to the summit in Hamburg, but still left, nonetheless, all 156 rooms booked out. That hotel in question is located in the very centre of the city, with reports saying US President Donald Trump was, in fact, therefore, prevented from staying there because of the Riyadh booking. Trump finally found a place, though, to go, away from some of the other G20 participants. Trump's home is this, you're about to see over my shoulder, place for the next few days, a 19th century building. In the past, it's welcomed high-ranking guests, such as former US Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and the Dalai Lama. Some reports say the villa and its territory was previously transformed into a high-security area now, and that's what's helped flip the choice here for the American president to choose this location. But either which way, it's not the only reason the media think Trump picked it, as Jacqueline Vogel reports.
This is CNN Breaking News.
CNN learning just moments ago that President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin's sideline meeting has now been upgraded. It will now be a full-fledged bilateral meeting.
Well, it's official. Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump are finally meeting in person, sending the media into overdrive. And they're billing this as nothing less than a historic encounter that will shape the world.
Face-to-face meeting with Putin will likely get the most attention. No meeting will draw more attention.
The highly anticipated meeting will happen Friday at the G20 summit.
Sure, this is an important meeting. It's not that often that U.S. and Russian presidents get to have a tete-a-tete. And it's the perfect opportunity for Putin and Trump to discuss matters that do indeed shape the world. Likely to be on the agenda are Syria, Ukraine, and disarmament. But that's not why the media thinks this is going to be a big deal.
Do you think that the subject of Russian interference in U.S. elections is going to come up?
Well, it certainly should.
It appears unlikely that the president will confront Putin.
Why on earth would he not send a very clear message to Putin on that?
Absolutely would be a mistake.
He's going to convey to Putin that he's weak.
So, supposedly, this is all about Trump confronting Putin on alleged Russian interference in the U.S. presidential election, plus him bearing those ever-pesky accusations of being Putin's puppet. But how is Trump supposed to do that if, suppose for just 1 minute, none of that is true? Because the verdict's still out. A number of long-running investigations have so far failed to deliver any real evidence or rock-solid conclusions.
With Ukraine, with Syria, with North Korea,
and the recent Russian proposal for North Korea, I think there are a lot more important things to worry about than the favorite hobby horse of the Democratic Party in the United States. They will do anything to keep this story alive. I think the president should not discuss it with the Russians. There's an investigation alive. There's still questions. It probably would even be inappropriate for Trump to bring up the subject himself, knowing that there's a live investigation about it out there. And the two presidents have much to talk about that doesn't have anything to do with this increasingly fable-filled story.
Trump-Russia headlines are some of the best clickbait in town right now. So far, it's been all about meddling and collusion. But the media is probably going to be left disappointed on that front this time. Let's hope they don't miss out on the real story. What progress, if any, is made on global issues? Jacqueline Buga, RT, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't get you Ken Livingston there. We're recording behind the scenes and we got the electrics worked out, and we'll bring you what he had to say about the forthcoming G20 coming up in the coming hours. Coming up in 90 seconds, North Korea. Where's that going to go? We'll try and gauge it right ahead.